Tuesday midday news bulletin here on NBC. I'm Dishishi Amfungu, alongside your sign language interpreter at this hour, Nanda Shipaho. President Hage Geingob today addressed the last cabinet meeting of 2017. We are now joined by our reporter Blanche Goreses to give us an overview of what was discussed there. Blanche, a very good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon, Dishishi.
Seeing as this last cabinet address took place about a week and a half after the recently held Congress, how would you describe the mood?
Well, the mood among the ministers, not all of them were in attendance. I can single out the Home Affairs and Immigration Minister. You know, she was also running for one of the top positions of the ruling party. She wasn't present at the meeting. Neither was her deputy, Erastus Utoni. All the other ministers were not present. One could spot Public Enterprises Minister Leon Jueste. He delegated to his deputy Engel Ngavatisep, as well as Gender and Child Welfare Minister Doreen Sioka. She wasn't there. Delegated again to her deputy, Lucia Verdboy. But the mood among the ministers, it was the same as we witnessed at the closing of the Congress last week, Monday, that now what lies ahead for the ruling party, as well as, of course, the cabinet that President Geingob also stressed, is that seeing that this year was the year of rededicating efforts to implement government or decisions that are taken on cabinet level, that is still an unfinished task. He said it has been, if I can quote, had been an exhaustive year for both government and on government and party level. So it was a meeting that was held, like you said, right after Congress. So exhaustive, but people were in the mood to achieve more or ready to face the challenges ahead.
Yeah, I know there might have been a few whispers here and there regarding a reshuffling of the cabinet, especially after seeing what transpired during Congress. But after today, can you positively say that, in fact, nothing of this nature will take place?
Well, Dishishi, that's quite a tough question, but the head of state and State House Cabinet Secretary, the Minister of Presidential Affairs, all of them, we as journalists, we have been speculating, we have been, like you said, whispering, trying to find out whether there would be a cabinet reshuffle or whether, as you know, the new Secretary General of the ruling party, she was or is still the Minister of, or can't be the Minister of Urban and Rural Development. So today's cabinet meeting, as journalists, we all expected, this to come out, but like you said, it was last meeting of the cabinet where the president instead said for cabinet to take stock of what the decisions that have been taken so far, the implementation thus far, and for the cabinet ministers to be vigilant as to how these decisions are implemented. So none with regard to cabinet reshuffle or even an appointment to replace the new Secretary General of the SWAPO party, unless it was discussed behind closed doors. So
good to hear. Now, we understand that the health ministry was singled out for doing well in terms of accessibility, but the president was not impressed over recent media reports. What is happening in that regard?
Well, Dishishi, the head of state, in fact, summoned the top management of the health ministry, the minister, the PSs, the directors, all of them were there at State House to give an account as to what is happening. Even during his opening or closing statement of the cabinet for 2017, the head of state mentioned that all of the tensions between the ministers as political heads of the ministries, as well as the permanent secretaries or directors or the accounting officers within the ministry, it can lead to decisions or policies not being adhered to. It can lead to the public suffering at the end of the day, at the expense of these tensions. So he must have directed that issues be sorted out, whatever they are, whether they are on an administrative level, whether they are on a political level, that all of it be sorted out. So they were summoned to give an account as to what is happening within the ministry to cabinet.
Now, how soon do you think we'll get further news on this?
Well, the cabinet briefings are usually done by the ICT ministry, but we as NBC and the media, other journalists out there, we are on the case so that we can hear what transpired when the media was excused after the opening statement of the head of state. So we will definitely be on that story and possibly be a scoop for NBC as well.
Now, Blanche, the president also requested the ministers to do away with wastage. What do you mean by this?
The head of President Geingob is one of the leaders of government who has been vocal when it comes to how government funds or state funds, state resources are spent. If you can take stock from 2016 to today, if I can say it that way, budgets have been cut, funds redirected, or priorities redirected to priorities and so on. So what he mentioned in his opening statement is that since the procurement policy of 2015 came into or became operational, it is only fair that ministers are vigilant as to how funds are spent within or on the ministerial level before it even gets out. One can mention the inflated prices as it was done with regard to the fuel storage, the inflated prices with regard to the tender to renovate the international airport. So basically what he's just saying is that be vigilant, no more wastage within government, and that funds be spent on what is priority at the moment.
Fantastic. Blanche, as the year 2018 is fast approaching, do you have any idea as to where the presidency, the cabinet, looks to pick up? Any hints given during this last address?
Well, there are 21 decisions that were taken this year, 2017. There are also 21 other decisions that were taken that had to be implemented right away. So I suppose that during the closed door session, or behind the scenes, if I'm to call it that way, that the head of state requested for reports as to how far the implementation of these decisions are. So we will find out. But if there are those that were not implemented for the year, I'm sure the ministers have reasons as to why, and all of that is to be made public by, we will surely find out from the Cabinet Secretary, Dr. George Simata, on some of those decisions.
Fantastic. Blanche, we look forward to engaging you more on the events that transpire there.
Thank you.
That was